Hello there. Welcome to Chamber Chat on the Street. I'm Dr. Vail, Garvin, President and CEO of the Central Bucks Chamber of Commerce. And I'm so privileged today to be with two really dear friends. May I introduce to you Beth Beans Gilbert, who is the Vice President of the Fred Beans Automotive Group. Beth, it's so great to be here with you. And I'll have you introduce Andrea in just a minute. But I just am thankful you're here today, and I'd love for you to talk to our business community about what it was like going through COVID this past year with your organization. And by the way, how large is your organization while you're at it?
Lots of questions, Val.
I know,
First of all, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for inviting both Andrea, and this is Andrea Volm, our wellness coordinator. Thank you for inviting both of us to be part of the presentation today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your business and your loyalty to the company and all the people that you refer to us. We love having you as a customer, so it's very special. Thank you. So the breadth of the company, basically we are 21 dealerships, 6 collision centers.
I didn't know you had 6.
6 collision centers,
Wow.
a parts distribution center. We also have, what am I missing? 2 Auto Express facilities, and we also have car rental facilities. So that's kind of the breadth of the organization. And we have 1,711 employees.
Way to go. Well, you talk about employees. I admire and respect what the Beans organization does to both educate your employees. I know the Chamber offers the Dale Carnegie course, and you are always enrolling your people in that course. And then we hear feedback from them as to how much they respect you, your father, this organization, and they're grateful for that kind of training. Why don't you talk with me just a little bit about what kind of education, wellness programs that you have going and that you had going during COVID and how things changed for you?
Okay. Well, training's always been, I think, one of the strengths of our organization. And yes, Dale Carnegie, we used several years ago, and I got reacquainted with it when the Chamber brought the program to town and have been keeping it going probably 3 times a year. We offer that program for our employees, specifically for ones who are going to get promoted or for employees who are going from a job where maybe they didn't communicate a lot with the public and then they have to communicate with the public. So we find that program really stretches an employee out of their comfort zone and helps them communicate and really helps them in their family life too, not just their personal life. So I'm always excited to go to the graduations. We also worked out a partnership with Bucks County Community College.
Oh, that's nice.
It's called the Leadership Program, and it's a 14-week program that we also invite employees to go to when they're being promoted into a management type position. And that's at both campuses, both Newtown and Perkasie. And they get to take leadership courses with their peers and learn how to manage people better, and that's been very successful. Obviously, we have a lot of education within the franchises themselves, so all of the franchises like Ford and General Motors and Volkswagen offer a lot of courses and sales training. We have our own Fred Beans 2 weeks to the sale training program that each one of our salespeople go through, and they're assigned a buddy that works with them for 60 days during their initiation into the car business. And I think that's a little bit of everything. And we also use something called the NADA Dealership Academy program, which is a program put out by the National Automobile Dealers Association that teaches managers how to run dealerships, and that's a 1-year commitment. It's a 1-year program, and they travel and learn the different departments, and we have quite a few success stories there. So that's our training. But in terms of one of the things that we really have been focusing on, especially the last 5 years, has been that we moved to a self-insured position and really wanted to help our employees be as healthy as they could be, because we kind of believe that that helps. The healthier, the better a whole person feels, the better they will be as an employee. And we began with a consultant, Andrea Volm, who's sitting here to my left, And the program became so successful, the things that she started to do to educate and help bring a wellness culture to our company, that she actually became an employee, interestingly, in March of 2020.
That date sounds familiar. One that will live
So
forever.
on March 1st, 2020, we hired her as our official wellness consultant, and the world shut down. But the things that she's been able to do in the last year and now start to ramp back up, I'll let her talk about that, but the programs that she's brought to our employees have been amazing. So I'll turn it over to you to tell a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much, Beth. Honestly, it's such an honor and a privilege to work for a company like Fred Bean's family dealerships, because they really do have in place such an emphasis on the health and well-being of their employees.
That's true.
And it's so special because it is, like you said earlier, it's not just about how they are here in their position, but also it affects the people around them. And it also helps their home life because it's creating a more full person. So it's really wonderful. One of the things I think about, even during COVID, which it was really challenging, when people started coming back to work, one of the things everybody kept saying was that was a hard thing. Life has changed a lot. And so they said we put a little questionnaire out. What kind of things are you interested in helping with healthy living? It was really helpful to understand where they were at. Yeah. And it was great because one of the first things they said was they were home a little bit more and they ate a little bit more and they would like to do a COVID weight loss challenge, which was super fun. Yeah. We put out something every week that actually helped engage them both in motivational quotes, some health tips as far as nutrition, exercise, and support. And also, too, they were able to email me personally and really help to coordinate with their healthy living coordinators, which they have one at each site.
Is that right?
Yes. So we have somebody in place at each site, which is wonderful. So that's someone for a direct contact to them outside of myself as a, kind of a link to them as a whole. And then on top of that, we actually talked a little bit more about how they were feeling. And one of the other things they said was that they needed a little bit more support emotionally. So we actually did a couple different lunch and learns on mental health and how to support their mental health during a pandemic, not just for themselves, but also for their families.
I think everybody needed that.
Absolutely. It was challenging for every one of us, and we can all understand that for our own families, right? So to have that support here was really helpful. And we have everything downloaded to our employee website, so they can also take it home.
So you have an employee website?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that portal actually has on it access to those lunch and learns that they could share it with their family. Okay. And many of them called and said, thank you, my child needed to watch that and needed to listen to that. And we found resources that were applicable to our family, so thank you.
That's impressive.
It was great.
It was really great. It was really great. And we're continuing to offer lunch and learns, and we're continuing to offer other access, both online and in person, so that people know that there's always access to aspects. You said
something earlier about a virtual... We were talking about virtual yoga.
Yes.
Yeah, tell them about that.
Yes, so we're doing both virtual and in-person yoga. Whatever's comfortable to them. We're trying to really meet the employees where they're at and where it fits their needs the best. So we are offering both, which is great. And restorative yoga is the perspective that we've chosen because it really does help it's a stress reliever. And it's also good to help people with their sleep and all the things that, again, we tried to respond to in their questionnaire.
Something we probably all need.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Well, this sounds exciting. The other thing that impresses me about the Beans organization that I just have to bring up today is your community involvement. You do so much. Do you want to just talk for a minute about that?
We love that, Vail. That's probably the biggest thing. And I think, when things got pretty tough in March, and we were still open from a service perspective, but we shut down the sales and the administrative and that part of our business. And as we started to come back, we said, what does the community need? What's going on? And actually, my husband did a little research, and we found out that there was a tremendous need for food. And that was a huge issue. So we quickly got in touch with the food pantries in each of the places we worked. We worked with the Bucks County Opportunity Council here for all of Bucks County.
Great organization.
Yeah, so we did Lower and Upper Bucks. We did the Salvation Army for our Westchester, Boyertown stores. We did a Mechanicsburg food pantry for there, and then we worked with the Flemington food pantry to cover that platform. So each one of our platforms were covered, and we decided to donate 500,000 meals by the end of the year. So that was a 9-month challenge. We even challenged our customers. We challenged our employees to give $1 pay, because we said every dollar gave 2 meals. And each month we sort of focused on a different group that needed the food, even though it was going directly. So we knew certain months the school children weren't getting food because that had stopped. We focused on veterans, we focused on elders, and it really came together nicely, and we were able to meet the goal. But honestly, what I'm more proud of that we did, and I know you participated too, is we had we got to do volunteer hours as well, because the food pantries not only needed the food, but they needed people to load the cars, because the cars were, it was crazy. I mean, there were times when the food pantries first were very, very busy in March and April. A lot of people's cars had been sitting for a long period of time, so they would get in these long lines in the food pantries, and the cars would go dead. There'd be battery problems, so we had tow trucks on site to help with that, or help people, battery truck to help people get their batteries going again. But what was really cool was our employees worked in each of the tents and helped fill people's cars with food. So we had the food pantries stocked up with our employees on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the Flemington and Bucks areas, and that was just made me so proud.
Thank you for that.
So I know we're continuing to do that right now with the workers. So I still have employees, and we pay our employees to volunteer. So I say, listen, if you're going to go work a food pantry for 3 hours, I will pay your wages to do that, because it's so needed. And then we had a commitment with the YMCA, which we're extremely proud of. We gave $1 million for the lower Bucks and also the Central Bucks expansion. And that, of course, happened in the middle of COVID. Yeah. But we were able to keep that commitment in place. We were able to still help with the summer camp, because that became an important thing as people went back to work. The Y was able to open up their summer camps, and we were able to help partner with them and keep that going. So extremely proud of that.
This almost feels like, from what I'm listening to, that the Beans organization has had the best year in, 5, 10, 15 years. Is this true?
This is true, Vail. I feel like the things that our team has accomplished in the last year of 2020, as devastating as it was, what we've accomplished in the last year is more than I've seen us accomplish in 15 years.
Wow.
I mean, some of the things that came forth, like the online buying tool, we have an online service scheduler, some of the healthy living initiatives that we're doing online, lunch and learns.
And the packet you give out when you buy a car that has, discounts to all these different stores. I like that.
Yeah. I mean, and our whole onboarding process is now remote. Our whole benefits enrollment is now remote. Just things that we never dreamed possible all got accomplished in this last year.
Leadership.
So I'm so proud.
I have to ask you, what is like one leadership trait that you think Beans management has that has enabled the company to grow like this?
I think it's appreciating their employees and growing, like allowing them areas of growth and opportunity to continue to build on themselves and see something positive. They initially find that positive, and then they develop them. And cool. It's a real encouragement to the employee.
That's so nice to hear. Well, this could go on for an hour. So is there anything else you'd like to say to the business community before we close?
That we, Fred Beans, really care about our community, we care about our employees, and we really do want to be top of mind when it comes to serving your automotive needs, so that if there's anything that we can do for you out there, we are happy to help, and we're so, so proud to be part of this community.
Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Andrea. It's been a joy to be with you today. We will see you in another Chamber Chat very soon. Goodbye.